Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. Another July 4th has come and gone. The celebration may have been dampened somewhat by the mood of the country. Many of our fellow citizens believe we're headed in the wrong direction. The economy is struggling, people are struggling, the political divisions are stark. We litigate old elections while preparing for new ones, even as many wish for a respite from politics. And yet there are still reasons to be thankful, reasons to be grateful for living in America. July 4th is an opportunity to reflect on what we're thankful for. The word freedom is used a lot. The word liberty is used a lot. The word rights is used a lot. You don't have to read very far into the Declaration of Independence to find the word rights. It's there and often. So is the word free. In the Constitution, we see words like free and freedom and rights. If you ask most Americans what they love about our country, you would no doubt hear those words: freedom and liberty and rights. With every one of our freedoms comes a corresponding responsibility. Free speech comes with a responsibility to tell the truth. Government cannot enforce that responsibility, but we can and should. The press has certain rights and a corresponding responsibility to be fair. The government does not judge the media, but we should. You have the right to a jury trial and the responsibility to serve yourself when called upon. You have a right to keep and bear arms and a responsibility to exercise that right responsibly and lawfully. Freedom not only came with a cost, it continues to come with a cost. Freedom requires responsibility, or else it's just mindless wandering. I wonder how many of us would agree you should have the freedom or the right to attend a July 4th parade without being killed. How many of us believe a 2-year-old should have the freedom to attend a public parade without ending the day as an orphan? How many of us believe parents should have the right to take their children to the public square without having to use their bodies as a shield for their child from a homicidal freak? 2-year-old Aiden McCarthy survived the July 4th massacre in Highland Park, Illinois, but his parents did not. How many of us think we have the right to celebrate the independence of our country without burying our parents? What about the freedom of a 10-year-old boy to attend a celebration of our country without being shot and paralyzed? Or the right to attend public school without being murdered? Or the right to take our families to a movie without being executed? I love the fact that we live in a country where we can celebrate our freedom, our liberty, our rights. I just wonder where the right to stay alive falls. How high up the list of rights would we rank simply staying alive? Because I cannot think of a single right you can exercise from the grave. What is our reaction to learning the weapon of mass murder was lawfully purchased? When did a homicidal freak's right to buy a gun overwhelm your right to gather at a parade or church or school or mall? I do think a 2-year-old should have the right to attend a freedom parade without going to bed that night as an orphan. We hear a lot in this country about people's different rights, including the right to life. What about the right to stay alive? The right to keep your life?